Welcome to the Greenhouse Hoop Bender Comparison, Part 1, What Costs Less? In this video, we will answer the question, does a DIY tubing bender save you money? And after this 5-part Greenhouse Hoop Bender comparison, you will be better able to decide, should I DIY or buy my Greenhouse Hoop Bender? Why DIY your Greenhouse Hoop Bender? Well, one reason is to save money. Is a Bootstrap Farmer Bender the cheapest option out there? The definition of bootstrap is...
The definition of bootstrap is to get oneself out of a situation with a minimum of resources.
Let's see if that is true. The Bootstrap Farmer Bender is advertised to cost between $99 on their website and $110 on Amazon for the 10-foot wide hoop bender. Our, or better said, your DIY tubing bender will cost you $50 or less. It's $9.99 for the Instant Ship ebook Builder's Guide and about $40 or less in materials cost. And these are common materials, so you may even have some already on hand. A sheet of plywood, a few bolts, and you can even use flat concrete stakes instead of metal bar stock for the bending head. So what's the answer? What costs less? The DIY tubing bender costs less. It is 1/2 the cost of the pre-made bender. So you will double your savings if you get resourceful and make your hoop bender. Yes, double. Why spend more for less? I believe it was Voltaire that said, common sense is not common. Well, let it be known that the resourceful mechanic says, the Bootstrap Farmer Bender is not the least expensive or easiest method to bend your greenhouse hoops. If you need the lowest cost or easiest method to bend your greenhouse hoops, it's the DIY tubing bender. How do you know that the DIY tubing bender is the easiest way to bend greenhouse hoops? Well, in case low cost is not enough, let's give you 4 more reasons why a DIY tubing bender will make your hoop bending and greenhouse construction much easier. By effortless bending, better quality hoops, a super simple bending technique with error-proof bending, and it's 10 times faster. Now let's take a quick look and compare the two benders. The Bootstrap Farmer Bender is a pre-made bender, the bender that you could buy. It costs between $100 and $110. It requires multiple measurements and marking of each piece of tube before bending. And multiple bends are required per tube. The bending takes significant effort, and an extension bar is used for additional leverage and force. The DIY tubing bender is the bender that you can make. Total cost $50 or less to make. It's easy bending with no need for an extension or leverage bar. It's one-shot bending. Multiple bends per tube are not required, and it provides error-proof bending. No measuring or marking of the tubing is required before bending either, like the pre-made benders. Again, to answer the question, does a DIY tubing bender save you money? Yes. What costs less? The DIY tubing bender is $50. The Bootstrap Bender is $100 or more. Why spend more money for less hoop bender? Join us in our next video, where we show you which bender requires less muscles to use. In Part 2, Effortless Bending. If you found value in this video, could you please like and subscribe and leave a comment below? And if you know someone that you think this could help, could you please share it with them? For more information on the practical DIY greenhouse, the DIY tubing bender, or to learn more about us, go to resourcefulmechanic.com. All the information we talked about in this video will be below in the show notes. Thank you, and I hope you have a great day on the homestead and in your greenhouse.